So hi everyone. So this is gonna be something a little bit new on my channel that I want to do. I'm gonna tell you now. This is gonna be very rambly. Most of these may be a little rambly. So I've been trying to pick up more on my reading and try to have more book related videos on my channel. Some of you may have had seen the Law Gnome's recent video he put up, and he made a lot of good points about booktube. And the thing is, aside from the main thing that he was saying, some other people have kind of said some of the stuff before about the repetitiveness, if I'm using that word correctly, whatever, on booktube. The thing is, I'm not specifically a booktuber, and I don't know if I ever would be considered a part of the booktube community, considering the fact that I do other videos other than books, and so do a lot of the people that I follow. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of booktubers that I love, and even if I don't agree with everything they do, I watch their content because, either they're fun, I like how they present things, and other things. I love Poland Bananas books. I do not, and I will not ever love Twilight the way that woman does. But I watched that Twilight video about life and death or whatever it's called, just because she is just so full of life in her videos, and she just has such love for these books. It's just fun to watch somebody be that happy over books, especially with all the crap you read on Facebook about, you don't touch my man, you don't text my boyfriend, if you don't type amen, you're going to hell, or whatever freaking crap they're spewing. So, the good thing about booktube and a lot of these booktubers is it is nice to see people, especially people of a younger generation, mine included, and people younger, in between there, who are excited about books, about literature. But there is, a kind of repetitive thing going on. There's always these hauls and TBRs and stuff, which I watch. Sometimes it's good to watch those kind of things and get ideas for books to read. It really depends on how they kind of deliver the TBR. Like Wish Fulfillment, Sylvia, I love how she does hers, and like those wrap-ups and everything. I think they're like really well done and kind of interesting. And there's a lot of tag videos and such, but there are certain people that really like watching tag videos because some of them really put a lot of thought into these questions, and again, you learn a little bit about the books. However, the thing is, it's got to be a little bit more than that. And that's kind of why I have my favorite booktubers / YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, because they're still YouTubers. Why they are my favorites over some of the other ones. Why I enjoy their content a little bit more. One of the people I suggested was Melina Pendulum, or Pendulum, however you want to say that. She is one of my favorite YouTubers. She's really not, she does a lot on books, but she's covered other stuff too. But it's mainly book centered. Well, it's really story centered because she does a lot on TV shows and stuff, but it really goes back to the foundation of writing. And she's made videos on how people portray certain things in music, racism, stuff like that. And she's done videos like the annoying things writers do, like over like explaining stuff that's unnecessary. And she's also gone into the problematic things about certain tropes and this and that. So a lot of the videos that she does is like very well thought out. She, honestly thinks about these subjects, has done research, and is looking, from experience, it sounds like, from her own and what she sees out in the world and everything. And she's sitting in front of a camera, having her own opinion, but also doing it in a mature, well thought out, intelligent way. And she's covering diverse topics, but even stuff that's a lot of the time mainly focused towards YA kind of readers and everything, but still doesn't dumb it down. Another person that I like that's even lesser of a booktuber than her would be the Gothic Alice. She doesn't do as many book-related videos as movies. She's like really into horror and stuff. But, she sits there and explains like the history, where things came from, why people thought this and that, what this means, why this and that. And those are the kind of things I like. I like when people really like analyze stuff. Even if it's not like totally like correct to what the author wrote and everything, because you're not inside people's heads. You're not going to know every detail, especially if these people have been like dead for like 100 years or so. But you can really look into a book and see where they're trying to get. You can look into the time frame that it was written in. And, research plus your own opinions plus analyzing. It really goes together because it kind of opens up some clues about what they were trying to say. They may have lived in a time where you couldn't say certain things, do certain things, be certain things, so writing had to be a way of coding things. That's kind of like stuff to think about. I would like to see more of that kind of stuff on BookTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of people always just, I'm going to read this, I'm going to read that. I would really like to hear what they thought about these characters. I would like to see more actual full book reviews, which I will be doing myself fairly soon. I want to know why that book made you cry. Why are you so attached to it? There are certain reasons why I'm attached to certain books. I can sit here and tell you 20 reasons why I love The Hunger Games as much as I do. I can tell you 20 reasons probably why I love The Fault in Our Stars. And I will definitely be reading more John Green. I can tell you, about the book Unwind and why I have the feelings for it that I do. And, there's kind of reasons, comparing that to The Hunger Games and everything, why I shouldn't have it, because of age reasons and everything. But, oh my god, Unwind nearly scared the hell out of me, and I'm like way past the age thingy in the book and everything, but it was just the way it was written and everything. It was just a good story that like really grabbed you in. And I really don't know if you would totally call it dystopian or not. Whatever. But still, if you like those kind of stories, I highly recommend that one. That's another thing. There are still YA books that are really underrated, and I've seen them. online and everything, but I don't know. There really seems to be books that people constantly talk about, and others are kind of ignored, and I'm wondering if it has to do with certain tropes. I've never really analyzed it before. I never really thought about it, but now that I'm kind of sitting here, just talking to my freaking camera here to all you guys, I'm really kind of starting to see, the same pattern over and over again, which is another thing Melina talked about. There's always magical guy and the girl who, I'm so plain, but the vampire thinks I'm so beautiful. That kind of stuff. Which, by the way, you should totally read Jessica's Guide to Dating on the Dark Side, because that actually was pretty funny. And I actually liked Lucius. It's like a vampire novel that's really not a vampire novel. If you read it, you'll see. Like, Twilight had more vampire stuff in it, I think, than that did. But that's a better book. If that makes any sense. It's like, I don't know, it's a good book. So, but yeah, I don't hear about that one a lot. And that one had a vampire dude. And, well, see, in the book, she's adopted. And, like, she knows she's adopted and everything. She came from Romania. And she's lived in America pretty much for the rest of her life. And it's kind of like this guy comes and she was like kind of betrothed or whatever the word is. But anyways, yeah, it was pretty good. And I don't really hear about that book at all. Again, Unwind. Unwind is a dystopian novel, YA, that focuses around the solution to the pro-life and pro-choice war over abortion, which you may have trouble with, depending on how you feel about the subject matter, but again, it was an excellent book. I have, like, the second one, which I have not read yet, and I gotta get to. But, I don't know, it seems there's always kind of like trends going on, and I'm not saying all of them, but it seems sometimes booktube kind of like follows them. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's kind of expected, but still, there's still even books in those categories that are not being mentioned and everything, and perhaps it is because there is no love triangle and girl with self-esteem issues and all that other crap. It just really seems like that sometimes. And again, I'm not saying it's everyone, but sometimes there seems to be that kind of flow going on. Okay? Me, I like variety. Like I said, I may never be considered a booktuber, because I don't just talk about books. My channel name is Pagan Pages, which I will be talking a lot of spiritual, pagan-ish stuff too, but also books and music and occasionally movies. I mean, I'm not saying this stuff is bad. I'm just saying more variety needs to come about. Me, I'm trying to attempt variety. This, right now, being one of them. Me just kind of talking about booktube and books and this and that. And I'll be more specific on things in the next one. This one is just kind of like, a test run kind of thing to see how this goes. I've made TBR lists and everything. And that's the other thing, too. I am so bad at TBR. I'm not bad at making them. I'm not bad at even starting the books. I'm just bad at finishing them, because it's not that I don't like to read. It's obvious that I do. It's just I read too much at a time. I go halfway through one book, I may get to like 100 pages. But then I hear people talking about other books, or I see it on my shelf and I remember the plot and everything. And I just get to thinking about, what is this book like? I may have read a few pages out of that one and been like really intrigued by the story. And depending on my mood, I may just be feeling to read something happy or something sad or something like really thoughtful. And then I pick it up. And then it's like I'm on page 50 3 days later. And yeah, I got to get back to the other book that, I got to get at least to a page 101 now. So I'm kind of like a book, polygamist there. Just a bunch of books at once. And I need to start trying to be book monogamous because, man, relationships. Paper relationships are just, a lot to handle. I made a TBR for September, and I'm going to tell you guys, I have like 13 views on it, so I'm not too worried about people being disappointed, because I'm still a very, very low profile YouTuber and everything. But for those of you who have watched it and have bothered to watch any of my other TBRs or whatever, thank you. I mean, again, thank you to everyone who watches me. It's greatly appreciated. But, sometimes when I hate videos, it's kind of a relief to see that I've only gotten a few views on those. Those are one of the only times because, I feel like I'm not disappointing a shit ton of people. Which most people probably don't care anyways about, if you finish your TBR or whatever, you're only human, you're not like a super reader. But, so yeah, I made a TBR. I've had to take a couple books back because I will not finish them in time for the library when they're due. So, the good thing is, though, right across the street from my, window right here, there's a food shelf, and on the other side of the food shelf, it's like the same building, is a library. So, the library is, 2 minutes away. So, unless they took it to another library, I can just go another day and just pick up the same books again. I just finished reading it, which is the benefit right now of living here, because this place is kind of a crap hole. But you didn't hear that from me. So anyways, I'm going to tell you that I've mainly been reading this. I know a lot of people don't talk enough about this, and I will definitely be doing a review on this. It's kind of hard to show you how far I've gotten because the book is actually kind of falling apart. It's like, from here, the spine, it's like coming apart. So I'm going to definitely have to tell the library about that. It's nothing that I did, and I don't think the person before me did it. I think it's just like, what is it, like a type of glue or something they use for it, to attach it, the pages. I think it just came loose, it just stopped sticking. And the weight of the book, because it is 500 and something pages, probably people, reading it like normal, so. But this right here, where my finger is, above my finger, is where I've finished so far. So I've read a decent chunk of this. I know it looks like there's a lot, but a few pages, here's the epilogue and stuff, but a few more down here are interview kind of things, the author and I think the filmmaker. And yeah, after this, because I know like I can order it from the library, I'll definitely be um, watching the movie for this, because I definitely want to do more book to movie discussions and everything. And yeah, that's another thing. I want to try and kind of improve on those videos too, because I know they are so long. But when I like a book, I really like a book. And, you know, sometimes I like the movie, and if I like the movie that goes with it, then it's like the video is going to be even longer. I don't know. Just go watch my videos that I did on the Hunger Games. I've done all 3 books. There's 4 movies, but you know, I kind of put them together because they're like part 1 and 2. So yeah, I've done the book and movie reviews on those. I've done my top 5 Wednesday, which are my favorite moments from there. And that one was quite long. You know, if you want to sit through a long video and hear me ramble about one of my favorite book series, or just books in general, go watch it. I can't promise you I won't bore you to death with my, you know, book obsession at that moment. But, you know, still, I enjoy doing the video. But the thing is that, you know, I kind of want to be able to focus more, be able to kind of do videos, you know, kind of in one take and everything, because a lot of times they are broken up over days and everything, because I'll, like, do a part or erase it and this and that. So I'm kind of, like, getting better at kind of finding out what I want to say and everything and stuff. But yeah, this is awesome. This needs to be talked about. And you'll probably be hearing the comparisons to the series that I just mentioned and other stuff. I would like to do videos on genres too, like post-apocalyptic and dystopia. I don't know if I'll separate those two, because sometimes they kind of go together. You know, I would like to talk about stuff about why we like them, what I consider dystopian, why other people may or may not, you know, all those kind of stuff. And, you know, I may jump into other things like actual good teenage romance, vampires, you know, stuff like that. So, again, yeah, I know I'm just rambling and everything, but I told you this would be a rambling video. This is just my random thoughts about books and booktube, and the stuff that I want to see on there. You know, the stuff that I've enjoyed doing, the things that I am passionate about, and what will be coming to my channel. So, you know, more reviews, book discussions, you know, like genre discussions. I'll still be doing tags and stuff, because they're fun. But, you know, being a writer myself, I think it's important to talk about why you love the books that you love and everything, whether they're popular or not, whether people are tired of them or not. You know, it's just important, because there's a certain reason you love those characters. There's certain things that you see in those plots. There are certain things that you think should have been in there, you know, and, you know, it's always good to kind of swap advice and everything, so you know, you can grow as a reader and a writer and all that good stuff. So I'm going to, like, shut up now, because I have another video to make on a totally different subject. So thank you for sitting through this. Thank you for listening to me talk on and on. And I don't know what bookish kind of talk I'll do next, but or when it will be, but more, variety will be in my booktube section of my YouTube. So, I will see you later. Bye bye.